So that is Elephant Plains Lodge. Beautiful place. I'm so glad to be here because years ago when I came here, my husband and I were not really married then. We were just dating and would come to go to the Rwenzori mountain and trek that mountain and wanted to go by Queen Elizabeth and all of that. And because our friend Amos Wekesa owns Great Lake Safaris, he'd given us an opportunity to come. And so he walks us across from Simba Camp, and you will see where Simba Camp is versus Elephant Plains. And in the walkway, he just tells us, you see this area that is just green and just grass? If you come back in a year or two, it'll be Elephant Plains Lodge. I'm trying to do an eco-friendly, high-end lodge. And he was saying all these big dreams. He was explaining to us about the flooring, the type of flooring he'll get, the type of roof. And it just sounded like a man with a dream. For me to be able to come back here and I can actually see Elephant Plains Lodge and see what it's like and stay here, it's just amazing. So kudos Amos Wekesa and to everybody who's making sure that Uganda is really well known. But if you'd like to come here, why not? You can book with Great Lake Safaris and be able to come. But it's beautiful. So you have seen pretty much how we got here, that entire thing. But before I take you to the game drive, which is, seeing lions and any other animals, we're glad to see if they can actually allow us to see them. I wanted to talk to you about this. Imagine that I haven't actually traveled in the last 2.5 years. Like, I don't even think it was deliberate at first. But in those 2 years, I was pregnant, in the other, then pandemic, then life happened, right? So this is actually my first trip, like more than 2 hours away. So I either do work or I'm home or I'm just around Kampala. But so this is literally a trip. But in Jan, on the 12th, I celebrated 3 years in marriage with my husband. You might have seen him, he's lingering around on this trip somewhere. So we decided, you know what, make it a work trip and a fun trip. So we've done that. So I'm just thinking, you might be like me. You might be the type of person who likes to travel. In fact, when you asked for hobbies, you write likes to travel, but you don't actually do it. Do you know what was holding me back? One of the things is that I don't know how to explain it, but even on a plane, I can't sleep. Even if the flight is like 6+ hours, I don't sleep. I'm very, very anxious on the road or in the air. Like, just traveling makes me anxious. So you guys need to see the car we came in, right? And me and my husband were at the back. So the seats are raised. It's like those travel buggy cars. And every time the guy did like a swirl, I would just find myself going. So the entire 6 hours I was like this. So that's generally me. Like, I will think about a trip and I'll think about how nice a place is, but I'm like, how many hours? No. So I don't know. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I never really traveled. The other reason is the fact that I never used to be fun. I feel like now I'm fun. You guys will see on these trips. I never used to be fun. So I'm the type in the car going like, yeah, we get there, yeah. So the place could be so nice and so beautiful, so magnificent. I just want to stay in the hotel, eat, drink, sleep. I don't even see what's outside. Like, I want to appreciate the green. I want to appreciate the road to or road back. I'm just the type to just sit there and tell you the tea is nice and the food is nice, which you can do back at home. So like, I was such a party pooper, travel pooper, that exists. So now I've learned how to be just like open to an experience, just come to a place, see the wildlife, see the birds, see the green, appreciate the road, everything, every single little piece. And I think that's why traveling now is a bit more fun for me, right? Also, when you become a parent, I don't know if it happened to you, there's a YOLO mentality you have, because now, what else can come to you? Like, you know what I mean? What else? And also now, and I think I told you in the last vlogs, I make memories for myself so that I can be a better parent to my child, because what I don't know, I'm not able to teach him. So like, before I bring him and tell him this is a nice thing, I must experience it in my own way and know that it's nice, which is why I'm doing a lot more traveling or exploring. I think I'll just say exploring. And probably the last thing, which might be your problem as well, is that I think about the zeros before I think about the memories. So they tell you a trip to Monaco. I don't want to go to Monaco. I love Marrakesh. I've been there. It's my absolute favorite place. I would like to go back. But then you look at how much it costs for you to leave Kampala to go then Casablanca, then get another, then go to Marrakesh. You're like, guys, how much? And how much is the hotel? And how much is the food? And it's okay. So you're more concerned about the money more than you are about the memories you could make. And there's so many cheap ways to travel, like not cheap, but affordable ways to travel. I think we just don't take time to actually find out these things. People book flights months ahead just so they can get a discount. People book Airbnb so they can get into a cheaper, more affordable place. People will get into a car, 5 of you, so that you can be able to cost share. So there's different ways you can actually make the cost thing work. But I think most of us are always like, the numbers, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So try. This year, let's travel a bit more. Let's explore more. Let's go to different places. Let's enjoy life. So I did end up going to the Queen Elizabeth National Park, and there were many great experiences.
Come on, get to know Nyango. Iyo. Ojidaba?
In the tree.
Iyo wali?
In the tree.
On a branch. Right now what it's doing, it's resting. But again, why not on ground? Up. Why? One, the far horizon gives it a better view. So there, it's very well resting. And it knows, of course, when it's up there, it's able to see almost everything, even the predator or the So
it's
it just
big, man.
Yeah, it's big.
Oh, it is chasing me.
Basically, what happens when it comes to hippos, for example, like how we're looking at here, there's a dominant male within that skull. Yeah. And for anyone who feels that wants to take over, definitely it's a fight. And therefore, the only way how they sometimes tend to trim that competition is by killing the male calves. So a female, when it's about to deliver, it tends to leave the school for quite some time, then goes and delivers, and after delivering, it has to determine the sex of the calf before coming back to the school. When the sex of the calf is female, she's highly welcomed back to the school. But when it's male, she never returns anytime sooner. Why? She definitely knows the males within the school are going to kill it. For the cobs, again, the same thing just happens. If another family, which is not of the same family here, comes around, that will provoke a fight. But again, still within the family, there are always those fights between the same species, most especially males, whereby males tend to fight for dominancy within their territories. And mating rates, exactly. And that tends to happen when they're in a lake. A lake is a mating ground for a cob. And for which the ladies are always very much interested in those fights. Why? Because it's how they tend to tell how they can get the best mate. So with the cobs, yeah, whoever wins his fight has the ladies coming to him.
So if you die, you die.
Exactly. The difference between the impalas and the cobs is in the horns, whereby the impalas have spread horns, but of course longer, and then the cobs, they're slightly closer compared to the impalas. That is one. Two, it's the black line that is at the bark of the impala with a white stripe on it, which is not the case with the cobs. Then as well the size, the cobs are slightly bigger compared to the impalas.
The other difference between cobs and impalas that Robo did not tell you is the spelling.
Most true even.
Ziri off naye zirabikako wakiri. Katuloge tugende wali ku kkubo tulabeko gye tunaalaba. I don't know, I mean, waliwo an activity called experiential.
Here is the zebra, guys.
It's a rayon. So Do they think we want to have a conversation? Because they're not doing anything.
They start developing. Sorry? That's like taking a nap.
It was worth it. Lions are there, chilling. Yes, we're too close and we're about to go but they're not hungry. We can go say hi.
Lions tend to rest. And why? There are quite a number of reasons. Why? Because they are nocturnals and therefore they're always active at night. And basically the other reason is because they're able to see clearly at night, which is roughly like 6 times clearer than any other animal. And therefore they know the advantage swings to them at night for them to hunt and during day rest. Since we've seen some lions,
We might meet another one.
yeah, well, we might, but at least now the pressure is a bit calm.
So I'm not sure what has happened, but I'm hungry. I think it's because we saw the lions already. But we're at Queen Elizabeth National Park. You've seen bits and pieces of what we've been looking at, but
We ate just 30 minutes ago.
no. But I ate like a small
Yeah, all I'm saying is you should be embarrassed.
But anyways, hopefully when we settle in the end, I'll just talk to you. But right now, sleep and hunger. Like, how can you combine those two things?
So they say Kidepo has the highest volume of animals.
Well, I would say Maction Falls.
Action Falls?
That's what I would say. That's according to me, because when I go to these parks, I see where the higher concentration of wildlife is. Yeah, and in most cases,
Which one is the easiest for you to see lions, you think?
I would still say Maction.
Give me your phone.
Let me go a bit ahead, yeah.
Yeah, they're here.
What we are doing basically, I might even call it gambling. You only drive to see if you're lucky enough to see the lions. Even though we know that in this area, it's where there are higher chances of seeing the cats, but you cannot tell exactly where they are. So when we separate each other and take different tracks, then we cover a bigger spot in a smaller time. So if I'm here, I'm able to communicate to another person that there's something here. And if they're also somewhere else, they're also able to tell me what I'm unable to know that is in the other side. So when they tell me of something different from what is here, I look for the closest route that can take me there. So that's why it's the best thing to get in touch with others. Zeno katengeri jogenda kumkono gwa kono. Zidi like roughly zidi nga ku kala kabanga akabanga nga meters nga 15. Aneda.
Amen.